If you thought the full moon came and went without consequence, think again. What's unfolding now is far deeper than the night it peaked. Yes, the full moon reached its height yesterday, but the real shift, that began after the light started to wane. This wasn't just any full moon, it was the flower moon, and it didn't just pass through, it opened something in the collective energy, left an imprint, stirred the unseen. Now, here we are, May 13th, standing in the part that rarely gets spoken about, the aftershock. Most people don't realize these moons carry echoes. As the world moves forward, a quiet intensity lingers beneath the surface. Those attuned to energy can feel it most. The subtle unraveling, the emotional tides, the strange clarity. How have you been feeling through it all? If you're one of the sensitive ones, you might be experiencing the weight of this post-shift. And if so, you're not alone. Feel free to share. There's power in speaking what others may be silently feeling too. And if you've been feeling the sudden need to pull away from people, even when nothing's wrong, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why that's happening right now. And trust me, you need to hear it. But before that, there's something else happening under the radar. You may not be able to see it, but the full moon's energy is altering the very fabric of your body right now. No, not in some vague symbolic way. Right now your system is literally adjusting its frequency, and if it feels like your reactions to things are off, too sharp, too dull, too late, it's not you being weird, it's your wiring catching up. This is the kind of post-lunar space where people accidentally wake up to who they really are. Not in some dramatic Hollywood explosion, but in quiet realizations, bizarre feelings of disconnection, or even sudden clarity that just appears in the middle of something totally ordinary. There's an opening here that's way bigger than people think, and most of the world's going to miss it. But you didn't. You're here, and if you stick with me, we're going to decode the actual shifts behind this thing, the parts no one talks about, but everyone feels. Because in just a moment, I'm going to tell you about something that happens to people right after a full moon passes. Something that most don't even realize is connected. The more you force it, the more it slips away. Let's talk about this weird, frustrating brain fog hovering over the day. You sit down to do something, work, errands, even just messaging someone back, and it feels like your brain is underwater. Nothing sticks. You reread the same line 5 times and still don't know what it says. You're not broken, and you're definitely not lazy. What's happening right now isn't about discipline, it's about bandwidth. The full moon didn't just hit your emotions, it hit your ability to focus, think clearly, and move through linear time like you usually do. You're trying to operate in a system that's still sinking after a massive internal update. Think of it like this. You had a flood of lunar energy pulling up deep layers of consciousness, and now your system is trying to piece itself back together in silence. What feels like not doing anything is actually your body processing, rebuilding, realigning. But in a world obsessed with productivity, this phase feels like failure. It's not. Rest is not retreat, it's recalibration. If you're struggling to focus, let yourself float a little today. You're not falling behind, you're just in between where you were and who you're becoming. 1 minute you're invincible, the next you're blank. There's a very specific kind of chaos in the air today. You might suddenly feel this overwhelming surge, like you have to organize everything, clean the whole house, launch that idea, or finally fix that thing you've been avoiding. It comes out of nowhere. It feels real, and then it's gone, just blank, like the plug got pulled on your own motivation. This isn't just mood swings, it's the energetic snapback. And it's very real. Right now, your spiritual body is still hovering in the residue of what the full moon pulled out of you. But your mind is already scanning ahead, trying to fill the space with something new. So what happens? You get this intense burst, a flash from your next version. And then the pull of the old self yanks you right back. It's like being split between 2 frequencies of self. 1 foot in the release, 1 foot in the becoming. You're not unmotivated. You're unstabilized between timelines of identity. If you've been wondering why nothing sticks, why you start and stop, why today feels like a roller coaster of mental chaos, this is it. It's not about failure, it's about fluctuation, and soon the energy is going to start demanding something very specific from you. Remember earlier when I mentioned that sudden urge to pull away from everything and everyone? Here's why it's happening. You woke up today and felt it instantly. A strange, low-key need to disappear. No drama, no explanation. Just a soft, quiet instinct to pull back from everything. Even the most social, high-energy people are feeling this right now. It's not depression. It's not avoidance. And no, you're not shutting down. What you're actually feeling is your energetic field demanding space to recover. This is what we call an energetic fast. When the system gets overstimulated like it just did from this full moon, your body and aura naturally start craving silence, space, distance. It's not about pushing people away. It's about coming back to your own vibration after it's been blasted open by lunar light. The more intense the activation, the deeper the retreat required to absorb it. This retreat isn't about loneliness, it's digestion. After an energetic peak, solitude becomes a sacred cocoon, a space where your field can process, rethread, and re-enter itself without all the background noise of other people's energy. So if you've been craving silence, craving your own bed, craving distance from conversations that usually feel fine, honor that. Your soul isn't breaking, it's rebuilding its signal. The plan didn't fall apart. It got rewritten. Ever since the moon peaked, things haven't been linear. Plans you counted on, cancelled. Calls you didn't expect, suddenly urgent. People showing up out of nowhere. Conversations that feel out of place or perfectly timed. This isn't random, it's a reordering. The full moon didn't just shift your inner world, it tilted the entire sequence of how things are playing out externally. Think of it like the script was paused, reshuffled behind the scenes, and resumed with different scenes in a new order. Delays right now aren't punishment, they're protection. They're blocks designed to keep you from stepping into something that isn't aligned anymore. And the bizarre invites, the messages from people you haven't heard from in forever. The detours that make no logical sense, those aren't mistakes, they're markers, they're clues. Reality is being rethreaded to match your new energetic frequency, and if you ignore these nudges, the universe might get louder, because the deeper we go, the more obvious it becomes that something is surfacing, something that isn't exactly physical, but very real. You didn't lose interest in the noise. You stopped needing it to feel alive. Something strange has been happening. Things that used to spark excitement or urgency now feel dull. Gossip doesn't land. Messy conversations don't hold your attention. Even chasing goals that once felt essential suddenly seems optional. It's not because you're tired or numb. This is what happens when your energy finally matures beyond survival mode. You've spent months, maybe even years, operating in a constant low-level alert, navigating emotional loops, anticipating the next conflict, making sense of patterns that never made sense. But the full moon just triggered a deeper release. It didn't bring answers. It didn't even bring clarity. It brought silence. And that silence is where the shift happened. There's a kind of internal stillness settling in now, and it's making everything else louder. By contrast, the fake urgency, the people who only reach out when something's wrong, the distractions that once pulled you in, now pass right through you, like they're no longer coded to your system. Not because you're detached, but because you're no longer resonating with what kept you busy, but not full. For a while, this feeling might confuse you. You might even wonder if something's wrong, because the things you used to care about don't ignite the same spark anymore. But that's the thing. They were only holding your attention because your energy was scattered. Now that it's concentrated again, only truth holds weight. Your system is no longer looking for a problem to solve. It's no longer playing defense. And without that constant tension, there's nothing left to latch onto but peace. This is the quiet reset that doesn't come with fireworks. But when you look back, you'll see. This is when everything started changing. Peace isn't passive. It's a decision your nervous system finally made, and you didn't even have to ask. Just don't expect everyone around you to sync with this new rhythm, because while you're finding peace, others are unraveling in real time, and that contrast is only going to get sharper. Energy doesn't lie, but people do when they don't know how to process it. Since the full moon passed, it's like people have been shifting in and out of character. You've probably noticed it already. Conversations feel off. People are unusually reactive, emotionally intense, or drifting without reason. Even those who are usually grounded might seem spaced out or volatile. It's subtle at first, until it's not. This moon didn't just pull energy from individuals, it threw a wrench into the collective frequency. And not everyone knows how to adjust when the vibration suddenly rises. Some people double down on their old behaviors, others short-circuit in silence, and then there are those who suddenly swing back into your life like nothing ever happened. It's not random. These are energetic responses. They're being moved, pushed, and recalibrated, even if they have no idea why. What's more interesting is that many of these shifts aren't happening in isolation. They're reacting to you, to the way your energy has quietly stopped participating in the dynamics you use to unconsciously feed. You're not giving out the same emotional cues anymore. You're not energetically available in the way you once were, and that creates dissonance. Some people will feel that gap and retreat. Others will feel it and push harder, trying to pull you back into roles you no longer play. You might feel guilt, confusion, or even doubt. But stay grounded. This isn't personal, it's adjustment. The spiritual truth is that not everyone around you can ascend at the same pace. Some are resisting the change, some are cracking under it, and some are looking to you, consciously or not, for a signal of how to stabilize. The hard part is you're still stabilizing yourself. Your growth is shifting dynamics, not because you're trying to change people, but because you're no longer willing to shrink for them. Just because it's subtle doesn't mean it's not real. The full moon may have passed, but it left something behind, not in the sky, but in you. You might have thought the shift ended on the 12th, but this is the real aftermath. For many, it's showing up physically, not sickness, but release. Your body is clearing what your mind couldn't name. A quiet purge of old energy patterns and emotional dust. The thirst, the restlessness, the weird sleep, the craving for grounding. It's not random. This isn't regression. It's recalibration. You're not breaking down. You're clearing space. And once that residue lifts, something steps in. Something that's been waiting for you to be empty enough to receive it. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate your time and attention. If you enjoyed the content and want more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Take care and stay tuned for more insightful content. See you next time.